Around, I heard some voices, and I'm sneaking through there, looking with this 45, which I had another hand grenade or two if I needed them, but the pins were in them. There's my little group. The tunnel had come around, you know. Well, there was smoke and shit coming out of the tunnel from where I threw that grenade, you know. This one lieutenant with the infantry said, "God damn, we've lost another damn tunnel rat." And Chico said, "Oh my God, Crazy Horse is gone." Oh, holy shitski. He was a good track commander. I just walked up behind him. I ain't even looked behind him, you know. I said, "Yeah, he sure was. He was a good track commander." I said, he was one of the best. And they looked around. "Ah, what the hell are you doing?" I said, I said, "You ever tried to put that goddamn pin back in that son of a..." I'll throw him in the... "He was the greatest motherfucker I ever seen in my life. Born yet the man." We went in a tunnel one time. Now I'm going to tell you about this motherfucker. This is when I realized that the VC weren't really as dumb as the United States was telling us they were. We're out there on a big mission, and this tank, I was in the flamethrower, this tank had made a turn or something, you know, and the back part of the tank had hit this little stump, you know, it was about that high, and the stump just flipped out of the way, you know, a dead stump. There was a hell of a hole down there. Send the tunnel rats down. They sent the tunnel rats down. This bitch, 4 stories underground, and you could be on your hands and knees. You couldn't stand up, but you could be on your hands and knees and crawl around in there. Okay, that's how big, that's how deep they were. You know, I mean, they were a little deeper than that, but they had beds cut in the side and shit for them, and shit. This some bitch was big, you know. 4 stories underground, 4 layers. Well, there was a couple of explosions. We lost some tunnel rats in it, because they had it booby-trapped. They got down, they were going to check the 4th story out, the bottom. They couldn't breathe. You know, it was so deep, they were having trouble breathing. So they called back, had a chopper bring us a generator. They're going to pump air down there to them. You know, they run an air line and pumped air. Well, they cleared the tunnel and shit. There wasn't nobody in it. They got a bunch of weapons, not a whole bunch, but they had probably 9, 10, 11. They got a bunch of medical shit out of there and a few personal shit, you know, on the buried. Well, let me tell you how smart these motherfuckers were. Well, they come back and they said, that's where me and Jerry come in. Both of us demolition qualified. He was on the flamethrower, I was on. We had 2 tracks out there. You need 2 demolition. Well, they called back to get 2 demolition men. Division headquarters said, "You got 2 out there right now." You know. So this first lieutenant come up and said, "Both of you demolition qualified?" "Yeah, unfortunately we are." We draw them $50 a month demolition pay, you know, whether we used it or not. I mean, you know, somebody got to go in there and set the charges to blow this tunnel, to blow this complex. And this son of a bitch was big, man. Well, it wasn't as long as this house, but it was about half as long as this house, and it's 4 stories straight down. So we went down, and we were having trouble breathing, you know. So I said, what do you want to do with it, Jerry? I said, "I'll tell you what I'd do. If it was me, What do you think, Gary? Well, we can blow it. I said, let's do this. I tell them we need 6 cratering charges. 55-pound cratering charges. This little big motherfucker, 55 pounds of explosives apiece. Went down there on that 3rd story. Set 2, one at this side and one at this side. Brought them back and wired them in to 2 on the 2nd story, 2 on the 1st story. What are you going to do, Monroe? I said, we're fixing to sink this bitch. Give me 1 crater and charge upside. We had 7 of them, 7 55-pounders. And they blow down, they don't blow up, they blow down. We dropped that big motherfucker. It made a hell of a crater. It made a hell of a crater. Now let me tell you something. 5 or 6 months later, the infantry was out there moving. They captured some Vietcong. Sent them up to Saigon for interrogation by the Vietnamese and by us. And they asked them about this damn Kong. And they said they hadn't used it in a couple of months, you know. They were telling how many months it took to build this damn thing, to dig it, you know, by hand, because they don't have no damn backhoe and shit, you know, they're digging it by hand. And they had them poles with them baskets, and they carried the dirt off, carried all of it off somewhere, dumped it. They said, well, that's a pretty good tunnel. It's half as big as this house, 4 stories deep, as wide as this house. They said, how did you breathe down there? They didn't tell them that we had to bring in generators and shit and pump air. They said, there was no problem. Said, but when we were using it, in the monsoon season, when the rains come, so we went out there with them poles and them baskets, and they told how many, they didn't even know how many hundreds of thousands of these long earthworms they gathered up. And they brought them back and turned them loose in that tunnel. Well, them earthworms in the monsoon season are going to work their way to the surface. And all them little bitty holes they made is how they breathe. And they lived there for about 6 months. If our engineers would still be working on that shit, you know, they'd still be sitting there trying to figure out how you're going to breathe without all these machines and shit. But that's how they breathe. Wow. And they were telling how many hundreds of these baskets, this big and this big, you know, one on each end of the pot, how many hundreds of baskets of these earthworms they brought in and dumped out. And all them little bitty holes is how they breathe down there. And see, them holes, as long as you're breathing, that hole stay open. But when you quit breathing, there, you know, there ain't no, and that's how they breathe. I said, these little motherfuckers ain't as dumb as you said they were. These are some smart motherfuckers now. I'm telling you. Who in the fuck set this intelligence shit up? These little motherfuckers are smart, you know.
Mm-hmm. Earthworms.
We had a South Vietnamese dude. It was supposed to be a South Vietnamese. He was out there in the Cu Chi village. They had a little camp out there, a South Vietnamese camp. And South Vietnamese didn't like him. He was the commander and shit. So I told one of them, I said, let's kill him. Or whatever. Well, we can't. I said, well, you know, accidents happen, man. The little South Vietnamese soldier said, how accidents happen. Look at here what I got. You see this little dude right here with an hand grenade? I wrapped him up with electrical tape, which is just, you know, electrical tape. Fold the pen on it. There you go. Why did I do that? Put it in the gas tank of his Jeep. The gas will eat that damn electrical tape up and the hand will pop and boom. Well, the Jeep blew up, but somehow or another the goddamn, the one they were trying to kill wasn't in it. And I told him, I said, just shoot his ass, you know. We got down there, 3 of us one time, from the plane, me and Jerry, and another dude. Chico was down there with us. There was 4 of us. And we were sitting at this little, I don't know what you call it, kind of like a little bar. And we could get beer. And you could get, if you wanted, we never did eat much food from them. But you could get a cold beer, and some of these South Vietnamese come in. Oh yeah, I know who the other one was, the interpreter. And they were saying this and that, and I said, what is that motherfucker saying? And he said, oh, they're talking awful about the Americans and this and that, you know, and Americans taking all their women and this and that. They're thinking they should just shoot you. Really? Did you hear that shit, Jerry? Hey, motherfucker, going to shoot us. Jerry said, I heard that shit. He's sitting across the table from me. There's 2 or 3 of them over here at this side, and about 4 at the bar. Interpreter sitting there, and this other one sitting over here. Chico sitting over there. I said, you know, there are about 7 or 8 of them. There are only 4 of us, 3 of us, plus the interpreter. He said, they said they're going to wait till you leave. And I said, no, they don't need to wait till we leave. Tell them to start something now. Chico, 3 at the end of the bar are yours. I got them 3, Jerry. He said, I got them. I'm sitting there, you know, I've got this Thompson submachine gun sitting in my lap. You know, we didn't go to the village unarmed. Jerry's got an M14 automatic rifle. Chico's got an M14, you know, AR with a selector switch. The interpreter, he ain't got nothing, you know. I told the interpreter, I said, when the shit hits the fan, you hit the floor, man. And let us handle it. Oh, he said, I tell you what, crazy horse. I said, when I tell you to go, you hit the floor. That'd give Chico the shot and me the shot that I need at the bar. Jerry would take care of these 3 behind us. So, I told him, I said, well, ain't no sense waiting till we go outside. Tell little fuckers if they ain't scared to start something now. So the interpreter told them that, you know. 2 of them turned around, I said, now! About 7 dead, we don't know nothing, we just left. You know. Got the little motherfucking dink up off the floor. I said, come with us. These motherfuckers will kill you, come on. You the craziest motherfuckers I ever did see. I said, you still alive, ain't you? Yeah. I said, well, we ain't too damn crazy. Come on, get in the Jeep. Let's get the hell out of here. But, you know, most of the time we go in the village. I went to the village, and I was just wandering off down through where the little shops and shit were here. I thought I'd just wander down through here one day. And me and Jerry wandered through there, and in the, like the housing district was just their little thatch hut. And there was several old papa signs. By old, I mean, they look like they're about 80, but they're only really in their 30s, you know. They don't live long. They don't live 35, 40 be old for one of them. And they're sitting there, you know, and they smoked this twisted